Buying and selling a home at the same time can feel impossible, especially if you are relocating to Las Vegas from another state, because the hardest part of the move usually isn't the move itself. It's juggling two real estate timelines simultaneously in completely different cities. Because the hardest part of the move usually isn't the move itself. It's lining up two very different real estate markets simultaneously. You might be moving from the Bay Area or Seattle. Those markets are moving quicker right now. Or maybe if you're in Austin, Texas, those markets are moving extremely slowly. But the home you want in Las Vegas, it might be ready today, or it may take you a couple of months to find exactly what you're looking for. And when those timelines don't line up, that is where frustration comes into play. That's where you end up moving twice. Maybe you have to move into temporary housing, and you might even rush into purchasing a home that you don't really love just so that you can avoid some of the frustration. So why is this so difficult? Well, here is how most people think that this works. You sell your home in the city that you're moving from. You buy a home in Las Vegas where you're moving to. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's really that simple. But when you're buying and selling at the same time, especially if you're doing it in two different cities, that is rarely the timeline that occurs. Because what you're really doing is coordinating two completely separate real estate markets and timelines. So your current home has its timeline. You get the home ready for sale, you put it on the market, you get your offers, it goes under contract, and then yes, you are sold. Meanwhile, the home you're buying has its own timeline. You search for homes, you find the neighborhood, you make an offer, you open escrow, and then if everything else goes perfectly, you close, the house is yours. But we all know that there are hiccups along the way, and one market could move faster, the other market could move incredibly slow, and those change all the time. Then we add in the inventory issue. Some places there's a lot of inventory, other places inventory is super tight, or maybe you just haven't found the right house yet. So when people try to guess the timing instead of planning for it, that is where it gets really stressful. So where can things go wrong? Well, let's just say your home sells faster than you expected it to. That's great news, right? Well, that is just the first domino tipping over. But if you haven't secured your next home yet, that great news might feel differently. So now your closing day is approaching, you have boxes stacked throughout your house, and suddenly that timeline feels real. So the first option is temporary housing, and that could look like a few different things. It could mean an Airbnb. Some people stay in longer stay hotels. Some people move in with family. Whichever option that is, that also means that you are taking all of those boxes and all of your belongings and putting them into storage in the new city that you're moving to. The second option is just finding something that will work for right now and rushing into making a decision. And this is where I see the most stress and the most pressure. The worry of actually not having a place to live is just more than you can handle. So you settle for something that in hindsight might not have been the right fit for you and your family. Then there's option number 3. You actually get a long-term rental. You wait in the new city that you've moved to, and you wait until that perfect home comes on the market. Meanwhile, you have unpacked all of your belongings, so now this third option means once you find the right home, you are packing everything back up and moving again. Moving once is stressful enough. Moving twice in a short period of time is exhausting. And all of these options are why you need a strategy going into this when you are buying and selling simultaneously. So here's a strategy that makes all of this work for you. When someone is relocating, there are two markets involved. So you have the city that you're moving from, and you have the Las Vegas market. Each one moves at his own pace. Some markets, homes are selling in 45 to 60 days. Currently in the Las Vegas market, we're on the market for probably 90 days. And then in each market, you have those really unique properties that are just to die for, that sell in maybe one day, maybe 2 weeks. Because of this difference, coordinating the two markets becomes increasingly valuable. This is where the communication between the agents in both markets becomes really important. And this might sound counterintuitive, but me and your agent in your market should be talking before your home ever even goes on the market for sale. We'll compare market conditions, days on market, buyer demands, inventory issues, and expected closing timelines. Because when two professionals are coordinated in their strategy, it takes the guesswork out and relieves the stress, not all of it, but a lot of it from you. By the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Eileen Gilbo. I help homeowners relocating to Las Vegas make moves like this. Okay, so here's where it gets fun. When you're getting ready to put your home on the market, you are looking at neighborhoods here in Las Vegas. We are narrowing them down. Are you a Summerlin resident? Do you want to be in Henderson? Do you want to be in the Northwest where there's horse property and more land? We want to identify at least 3 of those areas so that we're keeping an eye on them. You're seeing what's happening in them and the homes that are coming on the market, and that will alleviate some of the panic that you feel when you get that offer. So instead of starting at square one, when you get an offer on your home, you are already well prepared and ahead of the game. And once the timing of that sale becomes clearer, we actually have closing dates, that is where I jump in with that super strategic plan to get you in your home here in Las Vegas. And some of the things that we can do if you do run into, maybe it took you a couple weeks longer than you thought to find your home here in Las Vegas, we can actually structure with your agent where you're moving from a rent back. Or maybe we have a longer escrow period that gives you a little bit of breathing room. These adjustments might sound small, but they actually allow you to be in control of whether or not you are making 2 different moves once you get to Las Vegas. And if we do it right, you are moving from that home that you sold right into your new home in Las Vegas, so that the transition feels smooth rather than chaotic. If this video is helpful, let me know which city you're coming from. I read every comment. But there's another question homeowners ask when buying and selling at the same time. What if you want to buy your next home before you sell this one. There are actually a few ways that people do this, and some are much safer than others. So in the next video, I'll walk you through how to buy your next home before selling your current one and the strategies that make that possible. You'll want to watch that one before you decide which route to take.